All right. Well, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Russell.
My name is Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm good.
Well, Jimmy, what brings you here today?
Well, I guess I've been going to college for about a month now, and like it's okay. I'm doing all right in my classes and stuff, but it just doesn't feel like right sometimes, and it kind of makes me anxious about whether I'm in the right place. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Because like I left the military to go back to college and everything, and it's kind of hard to give up that life. It's a lot different, a lot easier in some ways, harder in others. But like there's the money thing, like giving up that steady check is kind of a big deal. I mean, there's the GI Bill and everything, but still, it kind of makes you worry. Like the GI Bill, you get it if you're in school. But now that I'm in school, and feeling like I do, like whether, I don't know if I made the right choice or not. Then thinking, well, I have to stay in school because if I don't use my GI Bill, like I got nothing else. So that kind of adds to the anxiety.
Right. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of things, and one is that you're just kind of insecure about your decision to go to college, the comparison and contrast between the military life and college life, and kind of this dagger over your head, so to speak, about using the money from the Army.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, could you tell me more about the comparison of life in the military versus college life?
Oh, yeah. Well, like military life, like I said, it's hard in some ways and easier in others. It's harder, like the gravity of the whole thing, like what the military does and what it is. There's that. There's like the physical, like waking up early and the physical training and just the effort that goes into all the stuff we have to do. That's harder, having to deal with bureaucracy and all that. That's harder. But like at the same time, some of it's a lot easier because you mostly know what you're doing, where you're going. Like everything in the military, they say is like dumbed down to an 8th grade level. So you can't really fail at it if you put the effort into it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you show up, you do your job, and that's that. And you got somebody telling you what you need to do. You don't need to figure it out as much, right? So, I mean that's cool because like you wake up and you know that at the end of the day, like especially when you're stateside and everything, you wake up and you know like it's gonna be another day. Like I'm probably gonna do this. It's gonna be this. And then I'm gonna be done by whatever 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that, and then that's it. Whereas like back home, you're sort of subject to yourself. I guess you're like the master of your fate. You know what I'm saying? So like that's cool because you can do whatever you want, but at the same time, like you're just at that crossroads where you just have the complete freedom. So you don't know what is right or wrong to do. Really, like in a pure sense, like you just kind of do what you think is right or wrong, and hopefully it turns out to be what you thought. So that's kind of having like trouble sleeping and concentrating on stuff and all that because I just keep thinking like I get really worked up in my head about it. It's like a different kind of stress I'm not used to.
Right. So in the military, though it's dangerous, there's some sort of security in the discipline,
Yeah,
the regiment
yeah, exactly.
of it. Whereas opposed to college life, there's a different type of gravity to the situation. That is that you're just kind of making all your own choices and being completely responsible for all those own choices.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
I remember earlier you mentioned feeling financial pressure.
Yeah.
About going to college. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. So the GI Bill, it's like a good amount of money and everything. It's enough to take care of yourself while you're in college. But, let's say you get out and college isn't what you thought it would be, or like if you're just not good at it, you know what I'm saying? Like if you flunk out or whatever, they don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. But if college isn't the place for you to be, there might not be a resource. There might not be something for you to fall back on other than going back into the military.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they say, they'll tell you, that employers love hiring military people and all that, but like a lot of times those jobs don't really amount to much.
Right.
They're not very well-paying jobs. Not a lot of room for advancement or anything like that. It's not like a career.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can find a job somewhere,
right?
But is it a job you want to take?
Mm-hmm. So it's not quite what the commercials make it out to be. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yes. I mean, that's true in some ways. That definitely being one of them is the workforce opportunities, and it's easy to think while you're in the military, like, if I get tired of it, I'll go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just assume that, well, I made it in the military, I can probably make it in college too, but that's, it's two different animals. You might not,
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot that really transfers over, like the discipline you get helps if you manage to maintain the discipline, right?
Right.
Like, in the military, like you get the discipline so like you don't, you're less inclined to do bad stuff. But even if you still decide to do things that are detrimental to yourself or your platoon or whoever, there's like someone keeping you in check. Like you'll get punished for it before you seriously screw up, hopefully. Like back home though, I mean, there's not really that system of checks and balances with that. Like there's no, I don't want to call it a safety net. It doesn't feel like there's as much of a support system,
Mm-hmm.
Someone keeping you on the straight and narrow.
Right.
So it's like, I think it would be a lot easier to completely blow it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It sounds like a lot of these fears are kind of forcing you into some sort of emotional stalemate, I would say, with your decision to go to college.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Okay. Could you tell me what's in a word, what's the worst that could happen in the path of going to college?
I guess I could just not finish my degree.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be the worst, because if you just use up all your college money from the Army or whatever, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're just back at square one financially, and then at the same time you're in your mid to late 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a big risk. Yeah. It's like you said, it's like stalemate. Like I feel like I'm trapped doing. Like it's a good path to be on. It could be worse, but it's just the fact that like I have to do it, or else that's it. I don't have anything else to fall back on other than going back in the military. And if that's what I wanted to do, I would have never left. Right. That's how I feel about it. So.
Right. But what's the best thing that could happen in this life choice of going to college?
I mean, I could just accomplish what I came to accomplish. Finish my degree and move on to where I want to move on to. You know,
Where is it that you'd like to move on to?
I mean, I like to become a doctor, so that would be nice. And it's still possible. I haven't. Nothing's happened that's locked me into failure or success, really. So it's still kind of all up in the air, but it's still like college is where I have to be. That's how I feel. And it wears on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I feel it's like sometimes I feel like I should have stayed in the military. Sometimes I feel I'm doing the right thing, and like it's like no matter which way I go, it's like there's always that what if, and it just wears you down. Just sitting back there, like I could go back to the military and be a great soldier and retire a great soldier with a good retirement plan and everything, ideally.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no telling what I could do in the military. But at the same time, like everything is true in the civilian world too. But I feel like I have to give up something to accomplish the other thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's like a like you said, a stalemate, but it's like it doesn't feel, like it doesn't feel like it's a stalemate. It feels like it's like a tumultuous sort of like a storm of emotions, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like some sort of necessary growth pain.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. You're right about that. Yeah, but I guess I don't know if I'm growing in the right. You know what I'm saying?
Direction.
If I'm growing in the right direction. So.
Well, as evidenced by something you said earlier, it was just a moment ago. You said something to me along the lines of, "I wouldn't have left had I not completely felt satisfied," something like that in the military. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I was saying like, I feel like maybe I should have stayed in, but then again, like the whole process between deciding to leave the military and actually leaving and ended up kind of where I'm at now in college and everything. Until I actually got here and started thinking about it more, it wasn't really, I didn't have a second thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I must have done it for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't always feel like that. Like I think I made the right choice, but
Right.
I just have to kind of objectively say, but what if?
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like the end goal of this choice is, like you said, you becoming a doctor.
Yeah, hopefully.
What made you think about becoming a doctor?
Well, a while ago, like my mom got really sick, and like she almost died. She's got a lot of health problems, and I managed to get some time off and everything to go stay with her in the hospital. And when I was a kid, I had always wanted to kind of do something like that, and I was pretty good at science and everything. So, like at that time, I knew I wanted to get out of the military. Eventually, I didn't know what for, but the life was kind of wearing me down too. So I spent that week in a hospital with her, and I just kind of realized like this is something I think I would get a lot of satisfaction from. So that's how that ended up coming about.
Okay. There seems to be somewhat of an overlap between acts of service with you, between being in the military and being a doctor. Both kind of have this core of helping people in an intensive context.
Yeah, yeah, You're probably right about that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Well, so to recap so far, it seems like you're feeling a lot of anxiety about your relatively recent choice to pursue the career of being a doctor and going to college for that. while having some sort of regret about leaving the military, kind of missing the lifestyle of the military, and then some of the appeal, as you said, and a lot of the kind of regimentedness and security of it all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of conflicting with this new world of going down a path towards something you'd like to do, but it being much less guided, a much more kind of solitary and autonomous endeavor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I didn't think it would be like this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it would be more natural. I didn't think I would have such a big issue with it, but it's really like, it's wearing me down, and, you know, it might get to the point where it's really affecting my grades and everything, and that's not going to help me accomplish my goals. And then, like, at that point, you know, I mean, if the anxiety of trying to figure out where I need to be is going to prevent me from being where I think I need to be, you know, it's kind of suffocating.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like it's coming from all angles.
Right.
You know, and like it's hard for me to sleep. Like I said, it's hard for me to just relax and concentrate. Like I've been eating less, you know, and just feeling worse about everything. And it, you know, so that's why I came here. Is just like I need. I don't know if I just need someone to talk it through with, or some treatment or something. But yeah, I definitely I need help somewhere.
Well, you know, little things add up to big things. So a lot of these little worries and anxieties seem to be compiling on you. So hopefully we can get you what you need here. And perhaps we could establish a time for a next meeting.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. It was nice meeting you, Jimmy.
Nice to meet you too.